how do we change that? What do we need to do? Are we doing things right? And me personally, I felt like we need to do things a little bit differently. Cricket Australia has been always great supporters of multiculturalism in Australia. They put a lot of money in multiculturalism in Australia, but it hasn't eventually equated to having more participation at the highest levels, at high performance levels. So to actually see this action plan, the things we talked about 4 years ago, about trying to get more participation of not only players, but getting the multicultural communities involved. I'm very Australian, but I grew up very subcontinental. The things I had to deal with growing up were very different than the things that other teammates in my era had to grow up with. And I've always found it very hard to relate to my teammates in some respects, but also with my coaches with some of the things I was experiencing back home that they didn't quite understand. And so I challenged Nick at that time in Cricket Australia, can we look into more participation of Southeast members and multicultural members all the way up from the board, down to the staff, down to the coaches. I had someone from Southeast Asian community ask me maybe 6 months ago, how do I become a coach? That was a really cool question, because I thought about it, I'm like, I'm not exactly sure, because unless you were a past player, unless you've been in the system before, it's so hard to crack this system. It's self-perpetuating. And the issue is that for a long time, Cricket Australia has been a very white-dominated sport. So how do we get multicultural, and particularly people from Southeast Asian backgrounds who absolutely love the game, into this game that we love, not only from player point of view in the Cricket Australia, but staff, coaching, high performance roles. For the first time, I've seen something that's actually got a plan in place, being very specific and being enacted on it. It gets me a little emotional. I get caught up in it because it's been a long time. A lot of people in Cricket Australia have done a lot of great things. There was Rana back in the day, who I had countless conversations with, a former employee of Cricket Australia who's been so good in this multicultural space. So hopefully this is the start of something really special. And hopefully this will be a legacy that lasts long into the future. We can see great representation, both male and female Australian cricket, of more Southeast Asian cricketers, particularly multicultural cricket in Australia.